Hello viewers, you are welcome to Tindanius Maths and Science Tutorials. We are still under the business of transformation of functions. If you are new here, kindly visit my previous lectures where we've dealt with transformation of function. That's introduction to transformation of functions into details, okay? And all this while, we've been treating some types of functions like absolute value functions, piecewise functions, quadratic function. All right, so we are going to apply the concept so far to these questions, okay? These question types, where you'll be given functions with conditions. So we are supposed to obey or follow the principles regarding the questions. So we know f of x is equal to x to the power what? 2. That is what? A quadratic what? Function. But we never spoke about what? About you being given what? A condition or and what? Inequality. So when you are being given cases like this, how do we go about it? Okay. Viewers, it's just the same format, okay? It follows the same principle. Okay. So let's set the ball rolling. So how can we apply these functions under the following transformation? So here I'm going to apply, we have the horizontal transformations and we have what? The vertical transformations. Okay, so transformation basically is divided into two sections, vertical and horizontal. So let me use this session to treat or talk about what? The vertical transformations. Okay, so we have this f of x equals x squared. Given this condition, okay, so we have 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 2. And the first one is we are supposed to graph these functions, okay? So let's start with the first one. So we have f of x equals x squared. Under normal circumstances, viewers, we already know that for you to graph x squared is supposed to, so you have your xy graph this way, so y, you have your x. So the graph of x squared is what? Is something like this, okay? From our first lesson, okay? Introduction to transformation, we learned about this. Okay, so this is for f of x is equal to x squared. So let's apply this condition over here. So if here is 0, this is -1. Let's say this is -2, okay, for the negative side. And this is, let's say, +1, and let's say this is +2. Okay, so per the inequality or the condition, which side am I supposed to work with? Is it the negative portion or the positive portion? So clearly, I'll work with what? With the positive portion because of this. So look at the interval. So let's say from 0 to 2. So where is my 0? This is my 0 to what? To 2. So as a result of that, I would discard this portion. Okay? So the graph becomes this. Okay, so we have this. So it was like this, okay, this parabola. Okay, so I have it this way. Okay, so let's say here is a 0. Okay, so we have, so let's say, let me choose my x. So let me choose any number. Okay, let's say from here to here is 2. Okay, and let me assume that here is, let's say, 4. Okay, So I have something like this. Let me clean this one. Okay, so from 0 to 2. From 0 to 2. Okay, so I guess you can zoom any value for y, okay, as along your y axis. So viewers, this is the graph of this under this inequality or this condition. The second one, we have f of x is equal to x squared plus 2. Again, this is what? This calls for, this is 2 units what? Upwards. Again, this is, if this is your first time, kindly visit my previous lectures. I've dealt with this into details. Okay? Okay, so let me call this the original graph. So this is the original graph. Okay? The original graph. Okay, so I'm going to use this as what? As my reference. Okay? So from here, the same thing, I have it this way. Okay? So take note, we are considering vertical transformation. Okay? Vertical transformation. The transformation is what? Is vertical transformation. Okay? So in the subsequent videos, we will deal with the horizontal transformation. Okay? So this is 2 units upwards. Okay? So if I have this, okay, so the original graph, we had it to be this, okay, the first one. But here, we are supposed to move what? 2 units what? Upwards. So viewers, if this is 0, okay, so I'll move from 0, I'll increase by what? By 2 units, okay, along the vertical axis. So 0 plus 2 gives what? So 0 plus 2 gives 2. So I'll move from 0 then to 2 because I want to move 2 units what? Upwards. Then if this is 4, from 4, where do you move to? You move to what? You move to 6 in that sense, okay? So I'll just do the same. So if this is 0, so from 0, I'll move to what? I'll move to 2. So here, let's say 2. Then here is 4, okay? So from 4, you move to what? You move to 6. So something of this nature. 6. Alright? Then the graph. I will not start from the origin again. I will not start from the origin again because it has been what? It has been shifted. Okay? Vertically upwards by 2 units. So as a result of that, it will shift from the origin to somewhere here. Then it takes this format. Get that right. So let's say I have something like this. This is 6. So let's say something like this. So I have my graph here today. So let's say this will be my 2. Because from 0 to 2. So this is the graph for this. Let's consider the third one. So we have this f of x is equal to x squared minus 2. We are still considering vertical transformation. So vertical transformation. Vertical transformation. So I have f of x is equal to x squared then minus 2. Plus is vertically what? Upwards, okay. Then minus is what? Downwards. So we have 2 units downwards. So I draw my xy plane. This way. So viewers, let's consult the original graph. This is the original graph, okay? And the question is saying f of s is equal to s squared minus 2. So that means the minus 2 simply tells us that we are going to move what? Downwards by a unit of what? Of 2. Okay, vertically downwards. So I have here to be what? 0. Is that not so? So from 0, then you move downwards by what? Negative what? 2, right? So here will be my negative what? My negative 2. Alright? Also, from the original graph, this is 4. Because I'm moving what? Vertically downwards. So this one will also what? Reduce to what? To 2. Okay? So here will be what? So from 4, then let's say to what? To 2. This way. Alright? Then, from here to here. It will not start from the origin again because it has what? It has been transformed. Okay? So, I'll start from what? Here. Then, so in this manner, something like this. You get it that way. So, I have it this way. So, here will be what? By 2. As simple as that. And the fourth one, we have f of x is equal to 2x squared. Okay, I told you that whenever you have s squared or a function with coefficient this way, where the coefficient is not a fraction, okay, or let's say it's in two folds, either it's a fraction or not what? A fraction. Okay, so we have it this way. This calls for stretch. Okay, vertical stretch. So this one will be what? Vertical. This is vertical stretch by a scale factor. Okay, scale factor of what? Of 2. That's the coefficient. Okay, which is what? 2. This way. So it calls for what? Multiplication. Okay, whenever you hear the word stretch somewhere, it calls for multiplication. So I have my xy graph. So vertical stretch by scale factor of 2. How can we graph this with regards to the inequality given in question? Alright, so what is the original graph? It's here. So let's consult the original graph. So this is the original graph, okay? So here, this is vertical shift, alright? Vertical shift by a scale factor of what? Of 2. So stretch calls for multiplication somewhere. So if this is 4, alright? So when you multiply 4 by 2, it becomes 8. So there's what? There's a stretch this way. You get it that way? Alright, so that is what we are going to do over there under this condition. So come with me. So here I have 0, okay. This is 4 by 2. Why how much by 2? Because 2 is the scale factor, okay. So times 2, we'll get somewhere like, let's say 8. So this comes somewhere 8. You get it that way. Then, so it just takes this form again. Up to the 8th number, okay. So we have it this way. So from here to here gives you 2. As simple as that. Let's consider the other questions. Let's consider the fifth one. So whenever you have f of x is equal to s squared over 2, let's consider the fifth one. F of x is equal to s squared over 2. This is the same as what? 1 over 2 then multiply x what squared. Okay, this is the original function or the original graph. Okay, so this side or this coefficient calls for vertical stretch or vertical shrinkage or vertical compression. Okay, so when you have a fashion this way, you know that by all means it will reduce the original graph. As a result of that, we say what we are compressing or we are shrinking the graph. Okay, so this one is vertical shrink or vertical compression by scale factor of half. Why are we saying shrinkage here? So the original function we have what 4 over here. Is that also 4? Okay, so since this is 4, we are going to what? Divide 4 by 2 because it's half. So 4 over half is what? It's 2. So are you enlarging it or you are reducing it? You get that? So you reducing it, that's what you say what? You are shrinking it, okay, or compressing it. So as a result of that, the graph becomes so there's 0, right? So let's say this is 4, shrinkage, okay, half. So half of 4 becomes what? 2, okay, it becomes 2. So somewhere like this. You get that way? So you have a 0, then 2, not 4 again. Shrinkage, half, okay. Then your graph takes what? This 4. Okay, so if here is your 2, this side is your what? Is your. That's as simple as that. And I think the 6th one is you have this. You have f of x equals negative x squared. When you have it this way, this is simply what? Reflection. Reflection in the x axis. Okay. Have a good morning.
Everything is parts.
Alright. So we have this. Then this side. Because it's reflection in the x-axis. See, there's a negative here, right? So when we consult the original graph, there's it. So here we have 4. Do you get it that way? So because it's reflection in the x-axis and we have it this way, it's not just like you want to capsize it this way. Okay. So here is a positive 4, right? So here becomes what? Negative 4. Okay, so let's say here you have negative 4 over here, and your 2 is also there. As simple as that. Viewers, this is the end of the tutorials. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and comment as well for more interesting videos. So far as this YouTube channel is concerned, we are going to explore. See you next time. Bye.